Yo, what up, everybody? What's up? Hey, thanks for joining me once again. Another episode of the DA's office. Shout out to everybody that showed up early. I appreciate every last one of you guys. I was trying to shout you guys out in the chat, and I know I missed a couple, so let me just kind of roll through here to see people have already left comments. Seth Kaser, what's up? Plazukas. What is this one? Hello, DA. If you need someone to assist you today, I am free. Just let me know. You know what? I didn't even think about that. I probably could use a couple of admins in here. Let me check with me next time. Check with me next week because I'm not even sure how to do that, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, thanks for the offer of the assistance, man. I appreciate it. Donald J. Skywalker always showing up and showing love. Actually, Jason Momoa was pretty good acting-wise in Stargate Atlantis. We are going to talk about Aquaman and the whole situation that's going on with that. Look, Aquaman, this weekend was just a bad weekend for a lot of content when you're talking about Aquaman, when you're talking about Rebel Moon. A lot of these things didn't get off to the way they should have gotten off to. So, yeah, we're going to discuss that. T is going to be a little late. T should be dropping in any minute now, hopefully. So, yeah. Hold up a second. You had comments on the okay. Let me check on that. Let me check on that. Thanks, Anton. Yeah, he's giving me some advice here, so I appreciate that. But yeah, T's going to be a little bit late. You know, he had to grab something to eat, so you know you got to feed your belly. You know, man must not live on YouTube alone. You know, we got to live on some food. So he's grabbing something to eat, and then he'll be checking in just a moment. And then also Digital Edge Ray, who's my guy in the chair sitting behind the scenes. He's also going to be in this a little bit later. He's out and about with his family, his wife, you know, handling Christmas type stuff. So those guys will be joining in with us momentarily. Charles Austin, shout out. Thanks for showing in, bro. Rebel Moon is not a bust, bro. Them shit's sitting at #1 on Netflix, not just in the US, but worldwide. More than 61 countries just saying, well, I see it as a bust in terms of what I think Zack Snyder and what Netflix wanted to get out of this, which was the positive launch of an enormously important franchise for Netflix. That's how I'm seeing it. And I'll discuss it from that vantage point. Yeah, a lot of people might be watching it, you know, because it's a big movie. It's a Zack Snyder movie. They've been doing a lot of press and marketing to get everybody hyped up for it. But yeah, you wanted to jump off and take off. And right now, I don't think that this thing is off to the start that Netflix and Zack Snyder would have wanted, especially when you're talking about you got a part 2 coming up in a few months. Like, how many people are going to be really interested in that? And then you got I think he was writing a part 3. Like, Netflix wanted this thing to be huge. You know, they wanted this thing to be humongous. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, we'll get into that. Hey, DA, happy holidays. Shout out Avengers. Thanks for showing up, bro. You always here. Man, I appreciate the love and the support. Season greetings chat from That Service Dog Show. Thank you. I appreciate you coming through. Let's see. Who else we got coming in here? Anton, I saw you in the chat earlier. Anton's World of Videos. Thank you for being here. Also, hello there. Papa Palpatine's Pizza Padawan. What's up, baby? Thanks for coming through. Of course, you know, my girl Esmeralda. Esmeralda is one of my biggest supporters, and I really, really, really appreciate you every single time you come through, and you always, you know, kind of brighten the place up, you know, but you always have good commentary, which I enjoy. So thank you for being here as well. Rogue, hey, my man Rogue Sarge, bro, Merry Christmas to you too, Rogue. Hey, thank you for coming through. Yeah, the Rogue Sarge, he supports everybody, man. So, you know, I really, really appreciate that. You know, when you just getting started on YouTube and you're not sure where to go and what to do, we need like a community of people. And Rogue and a lot of you guys, Anton, you know, I know Chris Bolts, he's probably out there somewhere. Esmeralda, all of you guys that, you know, show up. Lombardi, I've seen you as well. He's also sending out greetings to Rogue Sarge. I've seen him making comments on videos. You guys are the reason that a young up and coming, not me, I'm not young, but, you know, like a brand new YouTuber can, you know, really start taking off is because of, you know, you guys. Cast Cal, thank you for coming through. You were here last week and you dropped a lot of gems on the crowd. So yeah, thank you. Your contributions will be immeasurable. So thank you for coming through as well. Let's see. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Jasper, what's up, Jasper? DA Dak, all bitches. I love it, man. I love it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, DA, thanks for the shout out. Merry Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas to you too, brother. But yeah, yeah, we are going to get into some of the topics. Also, we got here Obi-Wan can blow me. It's just like the first Star Wars, but if George was bad at world building and storytelling, I guess you're talking about Rebel Moon, right? Star Wars did in an hour and 45 minutes what Zack couldn't do in more than 2 hours. Look, I said that this movie, in my review, I said this movie felt like all set up with no real direction in terms of the story it was trying to tell. It was just, okay, let's pick up another person. Let's pick up a person from this place and let's add them to the crew. Let's pick up somebody from another place, add them to the crew. But they didn't really do anything with those characters after that. You know, they were just kind of sitting in the sidelines waiting for the, you know, the final battle at the end. And that's a big problem. You know, that's a big problem when you're talking about a story. Give me characters I can sink my teeth into. So yeah, Zack Snyder, he's got this problem of not being able to tell a concise, clean story, you know, and go, you know, from beginning to end in within the confines of the story that he's trying to tell. You know, he has a huge problem with that. Diego Keys, what up? Yo, hey, what's up? Hey, thanks for coming through. All right. And then we do have automatically a super chat by who else? None other than Rogue Sarge. Thank you, Rogue. 1999. Merry Christmas, everyone. Keep up the great work, DA. Hey, appreciate that, Rogue. Again, Rogue Sarge is one of these guys. I'm telling you, every YouTuber needs a guy like that. And all of you guys, don't get it twisted just because he's dropping money. That don't mean nothing. I mean, it means something, but it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate like everything that you guys are doing. You know, dropping the money is important, but everybody contributing. 26 of you guys are sitting right now watching me, and that's very much appreciated by somebody like myself. Again, we're just getting started. We're going to try to keep building this thing up. But yeah, so right now, let me go ahead and jump to, we got one more. Oh, okay. This is Avengers Rising. What was with the lullaby in the intro? You know what? I'm experimenting. You know, I'm throwing in different types of music. You guys tell me what you like. If you like the music at the beginning, you know, let me know, or let me know that you don't like it, you know, but I'm trying different things. I'm going to be experimenting all the way throughout this entire, you know, build up of the live stream, you know. But the main thing I'm going to do is I want to hear from you guys. You know, I've dropped this on a lot of my videos.
Listen to the fans.
Right? That's what I talk about, right?
Listen to the fans.
Listening to the fans. I believe in listening to the fans. I believe in catering to the audience, okay? Unlike Hollywood. I absolutely believe in say, hey, you know, I got my opinions. I got the things that I believe in. But at the same time, I also believe that, you know what? If it wasn't for you guys out there, I couldn't be doing this, you know? If it wasn't for the people that have watched my videos, subscribed to my channel, you know, checked me out, you know, gave me positive feedback on the things that I was doing right and the things that I was doing wrong. If it wasn't for you guys, I couldn't do this, you know? I couldn't do this. So in my opinion, you know, give me the feedback. Tell me what's working, what's not working, okay? You know, Diego says, keep the intro music, LOL, it plays in my head all the time. I'm going to keep that around. I like certain things, like I like the one that leads into the live stream, like that one. You hear that one also as an intro and an outro on all of my videos. So I like that one. Intro music is fine. Okay. Same. All right, cool. Jasper, thank you. Esmeralda, introductory music is nice. So I'll keep going with that. You know, I'll keep that. But yeah, let me go ahead and jump into the first thing. Now, you guys know what I like to do. And what I like to do is bring out one comment that kind of made me chuckle or made me think, you know, throughout the week. And so I always find one comment, and that's going to be my comment of the week. If you guys want to see your comment of the week pop up, definitely leave lots of comments, because the more comments, number one, the more comments you leave on a channel or on a video, the more opportunities that video gets to get around YouTube, because they see the engagement, you know. So that's one thing. But then the second thing is, you know, it gives me an opportunity to hear from you guys and hear what you have to say and hear your thoughts. You guys hear me, I want to hear from you. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely share this comment. Let me go ahead and do this. All right, so this is the comment of the week. This is from that video regarding the X-Men. You guys might remember the female-focused X-Men movie that they're talking about doing. So this was the comment. Let me see if can I zoom in on this a little bit. Yeah, blow that up a little bit. All right. So this was from Poru 208 2 days ago. He said, not even a month after Bob Iger literally told the world at that media conference that he will no longer tolerate his company's partners and creative teams prioritizing messaging over storytelling, Feige is like, nah, who are you again? LOL, something is going to break sooner or later. They're on an unsustainable path. And then you see some of the replies to that. Big Bob is one big liar. Lone Wolf said, the problem is that Bob deliberately stripped all of the storytelling talent out of the company and replaced it with activists. My worry is that Disney's dead. They just don't know it yet. They'll have to strip these people out of every single level of the company, from the board down to the people working in the theme parks. That's what I've been saying, So yeah, they basically saying, look, don't trust Bob Iger. Okay. Bob Iger, do not trust Bob Iger. Bob Iger is going to say what he needs to say, or what he thinks he needs to say, in order to get people, saying, okay, well, Bob's on the right track. Bob finally figured it out. Good job, Bob. You finally figured things out. No more wokeness. Get the messaging out of the content. Let's talk about good storytelling. That's not going to happen anymore. Okay. Because again, right on the heels of that, what did we get? We get this story about the X-Men being female focused. Once again, an agenda. And the thing about it is, this is what I said. Lombardi comes in with the dang it, Bob. But yeah, it's just like I said, when it comes to any kind of messaging, you put the message ahead of the story. It doesn't matter what the story is anymore. The message that you're trying to promote, female focused. We got to be female focused. That's going to influence everything about this story. It's going to influence the entire story. Even if you don't think it will, all right? Because it's like, okay, well, we got this female focused story, but what happens as you're writing that story, and then all of a sudden a male character seems like that should be the person taking dominance? That should be the character that we really need to focus on, and maybe we need to put this female character to the side. Well, we got to be female focused. So again, that completely perverts everything it is that you're trying to do. That's basically what happens. Ban ESG. I mean, that's what we need to do. Ultimately, Avengers, we're going to have to get to the point where ESG is no longer affecting our entertainment. That's basically what it's going to come down to. All right, man, we got our boy waiting in the background. Let me go ahead and bring him on. He was out last week. He had a little bit of a sore throat or something. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring the homie on. T, Uncle T, as we like to call him. T, what's good, baby? How's it going, man?
What's up, man? I didn't have my voice last week, man, but I'm happy to be back, man. Let's get it.
All right, let's get it, man. So, T, we were just talking about the female-focused Avengers. I didn't get your thoughts on that. Or not Avengers, X-Men. Female-focused X-Men. So, what is your opinion of, them saying, well, let's focus on the female characters. Let's put it all about Mystique and Jean Grey and Rogue and all of those ladies. What is your opinion on that? I feel like you got to have balance. What is your thoughts?
I feel like you have to have balance too. I think one of the most important things that people need to realize is I don't want it forced. Like, this audience, is not something that's there right now. I mean, I get the Field of Dreams attitude. If you build it, they'll come. But right now, you don't need to build it because you've already got something that's built. And it's sad because you know what? The conversation is not about material or good content. It's about, too many females here. Like, we always talk about who? Sigourney Weaver. Awesome, man. One of the best. Yeah. Like, awesome, dude. And you didn't think about her being a girl. You just thought about her being a character, and she was marvelous in it. There's too much forced writing with the air quotes agenda they got going. And I think it just doesn't work because it just seems forced. It's not organic. When Black Widow came upon, she's organic. When you think of Wonder Woman, she's part of the team. You can't, you know what? I'm just going to say it. You can't have these girls be just one of the guys and not have them be just one of the guys.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I hear what you're saying. Some people giving you some shout outs, T. We got Esmeralda saying, what's up? Avengers, hello, Uncle T. How's things? Everybody's saying what's up to you, bro. Thanks for making it back in here, man.
Voice is back. It was horrible last week, y'all.
Yeah, we couldn't have that, man. We didn't want you sounding like an crazy old drunk man. Drunk Uncle T. That wasn't gonna work.
I sound like a woman. I sound like I'm smoking, just chain smoking. It was all right. The only thing I could do was Tone Loc, Funky Comadina. That's it.
Oh man, Tone Loc had like an iconic voice, man. I love Tone Loc. His voice when he was rapping, man, that was an iconic voice. Ridley, I mean, you talking about Rogue Sarge says Ripley. I think that's what he meant.
I'm sorry, Ripley. You're right. My bad.
Ripley was a damn good character. I mean, because she was an organic character that was written perfectly. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the first topic. Now, T, me and you talked about how pathetic is this, man? Marvel, they are chasing after an audience that absolutely does not exist and nobody cares to watch. Okay. We've been seeing that forever and a day, and it's continuing right now. So here we go. This is on geektyrant.com. We got the Marvel's Studios purportedly developing the Young Avengers as a film. And I did a video on this earlier this week. The Young Avengers is an idea that absolutely nobody cares about. I don't know a single person right now. I can't find a single person who cares about the Young Avengers. And we've already seen Kamala Khan fall flat on her face. We've already seen her fall flat on her face twice in her own series, as well as the Marvels. All right. That was your opportunity to test the waters and see, hey, is this Young Avengers thing going to work? It's clear it's not. It's clear that it's not going to work. Okay. We've seen Kate Bishop. Okay. People like Kate Bishop. You know, I guess there are some people that like Kate Bishop in the comics. Some people have told me, oh, no, I like Kate Bishop. She's a good character. Okay. How did she do in Hawkeye? Were people enjoying this character in Hawkeye? No. So Marvel, why would you push forward? As a television show, I was like, whatever. But now they're going to throw in a movie budget. Okay. They're going to make a movie out of this, T. And to me, it's just, again, it shows how disconnected Marvel is from the fans, how disconnected Marvel continues to be from their audience, and the fact that they're just trying to push the agenda once again. This is all about agenda. Half of the characters in Young Avengers, as far as I know, are on either LGBTQ, okay, or again, there's mostly female characters, and there's nothing wrong with female characters, but these are not female characters that people enjoy. All right. So I want to hear your thoughts when it comes to this, T. Like, at what point is Marvel going to just say, you know what, we got to knock this crap off? We got to start doing what the audience and the fans want. Let me hear from you, bro.
Well, they're not going to do that, D. We know that. What did I text you earlier? Hey, man, it's right here. I said what? They're turning away. They're turning away from the things that they can't. They're turning to the things that they can't afford to mess with, right? And they're turning away from this. You see this on some other topics we're going to talk about later. What they're doing is they're trying to make something for an audience that doesn't want them. And there's not enough steam for this, man. You've had too much garbage in between, man, and it just doesn't work. I didn't like Kate Bishop. I didn't like Kamala Khan. I don't like Black Widow, dude. It didn't work, man. You have these women in situations, man, just they're unbelievable, man. We're gonna talk about something later on that just justifies what I'm saying. It's too much. And man, how does Wonder Woman get it right, man? Just as a cartoon character, maybe not in the big screen, because we saw Wonder Woman 84. But how does I don't even think about her being a woman. I just think about her being a hero. And I think that's what this whole thing, when they started that She-Ra stuff, which you talk about all the time with Captain Marvel, it was unnecessary, man. It's unnecessary. You don't see the guy say, I'm a hero because I'm a guy. Stop all that, man. It just does not translate well. What youth are going to watch this? You ask most youth. I got a homeboy, man. His son was about 17, 18. I was like, hey, you watch Marvel movies? He was like, no. And that was prior to the MCU. He was like, no, I don't watch. I'm cool. Because you know what? He's got manga on his mind.
Well, see, that's the whole thing, T, because manga and anime have absolutely taken over this market. This used to be the market for, kids in their teenage years, 12 to 18. This was their market. This was one of their biggest consumer bases is, teenagers, When we were growing up, we were the market. We were the teenagers buying the comics, watching, for superhero content anywhere we could get it. It was scarce back then, man. It was hard to find good superhero content when we were coming up. But now it's abundant.
It was canon.
Right. But the thing is like you pointed out, is that like kids, your son's age, my kid's age, your friend's son's age, they ain't checking for Marvel. They're looking at anime. They're looking at manga. That's what they care about, because anime and manga is catering to the audience. They are making sure that they give the kids what they want. They're giving them cool stories. They're giving them original stories. All right. And they're not wokeifying everything. They're not saying, hey, let's just go ahead and make everything super woke and super, like, let's push a lot of politics, identity politics, social agendas. Kids like, look, man, I got enough of that on social media by myself. I don't have to turn to my entertainment for that. That's kind of how we feel. It's like, hey, stop pushing that through entertainment. We got all of that stuff on Twitter. If I want social agenda talking points, I can go to Twitter and find that stuff 24/7. Can you just tell me a good story with this comic book, with these young Avengers? But again, half of these cats are going to be LGBTQ, and that's pushing the agenda, and they're doing it on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
You have to have appeal. You have to have appeal, both male and female appeal. And I think that what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, the whole point about writing these characters is, hey, the average Joe, what if they could change their look? What if they could help out, right? They change themselves physically. Their mind is going to be better. They're going to behave in a different way. And I think they're trying to go away from it because it goes against body positivity or, body shaming. But I do agree with what Esmeralda said. I think that if they wrote, she said, if they wrote female heroes with respect, the female heroes wouldn't be any worse, but I think it's, it's hard as a consumer. Why should I spend my money on a product I don't care about? This can go to Netflix. You know what I mean? I'll get to it some other time. The cost of going to the movies, buying popcorns, all this just to have a mediocre experience. Why should I do that?
How much do you spend when you go to the movies these days? How much are you like, if you took you and a date, how much you gonna spend on a movie, T?
I mean, you're looking about a good $50 for just the movies. You know what I mean? You gotta get popcorn. She's gonna like popcorn. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna like popcorn too. And there are other little treats. Now, what I've noticed is the menus now I go to Cinemark. You go to AMC. The menu isn't as good, but it's expensive, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't get the movie going experience that you need to. You need that. It's as American as apple pie, man. You need that. You need to have tradition. Yeah. And I think that what the movies are trying to get away from is the traditional way of doing business. And it's just really hurting things. And then what are you going to do? Let's just talk about it. What are you going to do when you've had 3 years now of nonsense? The only good movie you've come out with is Spider-Man. That's it. You haven't had anything else. The video games are kicking your butt because the video games say, at least it's interactive. You better figure out a way how to make things interactive. That's the next move they're going to have to do. You're going to have to do some type of interactive seats, some type of experience to say, hey, man, put on this holodeck. What do I need to go to the movies for when 3 months later it's going to come out on DVD?
Well, that's the other thing. There's no sense of urgency. Like, why do I need to go and check this thing out? There's no sense of urgency to this, right now, Now, I wanted to hit this quote. This is a quote from Iman Vellani, who is apparently a big fan of Young Avengers. So here's what she had to say about doing this Young Avengers. They have perspectives that the older Avengers don't, especially because they've had to deal with the repercussions, but they're also a fan of the older Avengers. So I think they can really make this team up something new. I think it'll be way more functional than the Avengers even were. Like, you hear that? Like, she's saying, oh, this is going to be a much more functional group. And listen, the Avengers, in my opinion, the first set of Avengers, perfect. Okay. As the original 6 Avengers that they had along with Nick Fury. That to me is the Avengers. Everything that they did after that was just kind of like, okay, they adding people here and there. They add in Bucky, they add in Scarlet Witch, they add in Black Panther, blah blah blah. Okay. But to me, that original 6, that's the Avengers. And I don't think you can get more functional than them, man. I mean, to me, they're the OGs, and they did them correctly. They did a great job with that. I think Kamala being in charge might also set the tone in a really wonderful way. I think she's a natural born leader. Listen, I laughed when I read this because I was like, all right, man, she's obviously clearly campaigning for the job, like she's on a job interview. Yeah, I think Kamala Khan should be the leader. Like that's how that whole statement came off to me. But I mean, again, I don't have a problem with Iman Vellani, trying to do what she got to do. But what do you think about the Young Avengers being like, okay, can they come in and supplant the original Avengers, the OG Avengers, I don't think there's any way in the world you can supplant them. That's what Marvel thinks they can do, but I don't think there's any chance that you can supplant that OG Avengers team. You know, Iron Man, Cap, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. And then you add, you know, Nick Fury kind of looking over there. I think that's the only Avengers team that's ever going to be popular. That's the only one that's ever going to work. I even think when they come back with the Avengers, like this next set of Avengers in Avengers 5 and 6, I don't think that's going to be any good. You know, let me talk to me.
I think you know, you said this to me a while back. What are the stakes? There are no stakes involved in this whole thing, man. Like I'm a meat eater. Where are the stakes? There's no stakes. There hasn't been any stakes in this whole new continuity of what they're trying to get. I don't know who the big bad is. Obviously, you know, the big bad that we thought was going to be the big bad, he's been a total disappointment, right? They had a lot of things, interesting things they could have done with him, and they just didn't do that. You could have multiple villains. I cannot think of one memorable villain since this besides him. And he's forced upon you. He's the new Sam.
You talking about Kang?
Yeah, he's the new Sam Worthington of villains. Oh, it's forced upon me. They don't have any stakes involved, and we're talking about going to a whole nother phase, and you just don't have the stakes involved. And it's not serious, man. You need to be serious, especially when you got shows like The Boys. You got what DC's doing, dude. You got other people who say, "Hey, man, can you cut it down with this comedy stuff?" Right? Look, you can have different genres of movies, but come on, cut it out. Enough with this comedy lightheartedness, man. Oh, Captain Marvel, I'm not Captain, I'm sorry. The Marvels, that was like a comedy, dude. You know, like it was just what? Like the villain didn't have any stakes. Oh, what is the outcome? What am I trying to get here? What?
100%, man. But yeah, that was it for the Young Avengers. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I already did a video. You guys could check that out on the channel if you want to know. But yeah, it was just, to me, like they're way off, you know, they're way off when it comes to this whole situation with the Young Avengers. I don't think that Marvel knows exactly the right moves at this point, what they want to do. It's the same thing with Star Wars and a lot of these, you know, big major properties. They don't know what they want to do. You know, they're just throwing a lot of stuff up there at the wall. God, I hope this works. You know, really hope this works. Go, oh, shit, it didn't work. All right, man, back to the drawing board. It's back to the beginning. And that's where we're at right now with the Marvels, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even DC right now. You just got through talking about DC. In my opinion, DC is still trying to figure some things out. You know, I think Superman Legacy is off to a good start, but, you know, we're going to get to something else that you had brought up about a film that got canceled. And I thought that it would have been a great idea, but hey, you know what? They couldn't get it off the ground. But in the meantime, I want to jump to this. So earlier, we had somebody in the chat talking about this, Charles Austin. Charles was saying basically, hey, look, Rebel Moon is all right. You know, it's doing great on Netflix. He didn't say it was a good movie. He said it's doing great on Netflix. It's doing what Netflix wants it to do. Okay. But let me tell y'all something. Netflix don't want it to do this 23%. I can guarantee you that right now. Okay. This thing is getting absolutely destroyed. And 68%. Now, the 68% audience score. All right. The 68% audience score. Hey, it is what it is. You know, it's an I audience score. This ain't the best. This ain't the audience score you looking for. You looking for something in the 90s. You know, you go and you look at what Godzilla -1 is looking like. That's what you want if you're Netflix. You want something in the 90s. Even if the critics don't necessarily like it, you want the audience to be super stoked and excited. Nobody's feeling this thing. This thing came out and a lot of people went and checked it out because everybody's been talking about it. Oh, man, Rebel Moon. We might have a new Star Wars that we can wrap our arms around and squeeze and hug and tell we love it and all that. And nah, it's been a bust. And this is what I mean by bust. It has been a critical failure from a fan's standpoint. All right. Now, I did my review. I gave it a 5 out of 10. I said it's extremely mid. I'm like trending more towards the lower end of 5s instead of the upper end of 5. I still think it's about a mid-tier movie. Great special effects. All right. But Zack Snyder's always known for that. So I don't give him credit for that no more. You know, I don't give Zack Snyder. It's kind of hard to give anybody credit for great special effects. But yeah, I don't give Zack great special effect credit. All right. But the story was Dullsville. The story was literally like watching paint dry, and it was just hard to get through because the story is literally, hey, pick up a character, move on to the next planet, pick up a different character, move on to the next planet, pick up a different character, but we never get to know the characters. If we got to know the characters, that might have been something. But we didn't get, yeah, thank you, Obi-Wan. Yeah, 5 out of 10 is generous. I agree. But you know what? I see the setup. I kind of see where Zack Snyder might be trying to lead this thing. You know, I liked Ed Skrein in it. I don't know if you liked his performance. Ed Skrein did a great job. I think that I enjoyed his performance out of everybody that was on screen. Everybody else is just kind of here today, gone tomorrow. Go ahead, bro. I haven't heard your thoughts on it yet. You kind of
very chameleon. Like I like Ed Skrein. He's very, very good, man. Doesn't get enough work, dude. He is very chameleon, like, dude. He is a very talented actor, man. I got to give it to him. I don't know why DC hasn't given him a call, man, or Marvel, dude. What Marvel did, he wasn't Deadpool, but he was. Man, he's a very, very talented actor. I
would love to see DC pick him up, bro.
Yeah,
I would love to see him. Did you like him in the Alita Battle Angel? I liked him in Battle Angel, man.
Isn't he playing Lex freaking Luthor?
Here we go.
But anyway, look, this movie. Come on, that would have been a yay.
Okay, we got you. Go ahead. Keep going on Rebel Moon.
This movie is boring. This is a boring movie, dude. The first act of this movie is horrific, dude. She is unbelievable, dude. I'm tired of this same trope. Oh, it's only one person who thinks outside the box and does something. And it's this woman who is kicking butt, dude. She cannot act. She's not a lead, dude. She's a supporting cast member, dude. She's not a dude at all, dude. You know what? She crushed me to tears in that final Star Trek of J.J. Abrams, dude. She was horrible in that, and they had makeup on her, dude. It's horrible, dude.
I almost forgot about that. Yeah, I almost forgot about that.
That booty chin. Oh my gosh, dude. Come on. Stop that.
I think what Zack was looking for was somebody that could physically do the stunts, you know, and I think she's a good like physical actress. Like she does that stuff well, you know, in terms of doing the stunts and you know, she looks like a physical, you know, she reminds me of that type of an actress. It's like, hey, throw her in a movie, she'll be able to pull it off in terms of the look. You know, but yeah, her acting it leaves a lot to be desired. It leaves a whole lot to be desired.
Hey, listen, I'm glad that you run this straight. When I see that, I want to see the freaking hot chick with boobs, ass, and somehow is athletic
T, you and every guy on the planet, okay? You and every dude on the planet want to see attractive, hot women in these roles, but they kind of, you know what they do to them. You know what they do to them, man. They're gonna make them. Yeah, they're gonna make them, you know, they're gonna give them a boycott, you know, and they're not gonna be as attractive. You know, men want attractive women, feminine women, but okay, you can still kick a little ass. I bet. You know, it's like Sarah Connor. I always thought that Sarah Connor pulled that off well, as you know, it's like, hey man, she's got like that physique, you know, but she could kick ass, you know.
Jack, don't beat me up, but I like Terminator Genesis and Salvation. Sorry.
All right, man. Yeah, you can have that. But yeah, let's go ahead and run through what I think is the main problem right now with Rebel Moon is the characters. I'm gonna have to zoom in on this. Here's the main problem, in my opinion, with Rebel Moon are these characters. Okay, so I want you to tell me what you thought about these individual characters. All right, first up is this Sophia Boutella as Cora. What did you think about this?
She was horrible.
She was horrible. Yeah, we already talked about that. All right. Then we got this thing is kind of large. Okay. Then we get Charlie Hunnam as Kai. Did you like his character?
He's mid.
He was mid. I thought, and here's the thing. I saw that switcheroo coming. I saw that the moment they met this character. I was sitting in there. I'm like, this cat is going to turn. He's going to turn on the crew because it got to have one dude that turns on the crew. It was going to be him. I pegged it while I was sitting there because I went to see this at the Egyptian down in Hollywood. I went and saw it.
Hey, look at his videos. It's a good.
Yeah. I was at the Egyptian, so that was a week before it came out. But yeah, it was just, you know, like, all right, this dude is obviously going to be the turncoat, and it was obvious. It was, and he turned out to be that way. I thought his character had some promise. I thought his character had promise, though. I thought he could have been. He was in terms of the best characters, he was one of the better characters, but still not that great. All right, so then we move on. We got this guy, Michael Huisman as Gunner. I don't remember. He looks familiar, but I don't remember him from nothing. But what did you think of his character?
No, I mean, not really memorable. I think the problem with what they're doing, man, this is how you get to a woke agenda. Because when you're looking at the stuff, you say, man, how could a room full of 100+ writers not write like in something that's like that makes sense, that's like seamless? Yeah. How does that happen, dude? How do we go on these planets where people don't look the same? And you had original content, so it's not like it's Star Wars where you're like, oh, let me put Jack Black in, let me put Lizzo in. Like that doesn't make sense. I would have rather seen Lizzo. She would have been more believable in her episode of Mandalorian with makeup all on and like her having
looking all off weird and shit. Yeah.
I just think these characters are like, they're what you come to expect. There's no originality and no creativity, and like the performances aren't memorable. Yeah. And this could
like Papa Palpatine. There's no reason to like any of the characters. There's none. There's no reason. There's nothing in these characters that makes me care about these characters at all. Great. That's major. That's the biggest sin. Now, this is the guy we liked, Ed Skrein. I think Ed Skrein, his villainy was phenomenal. I think he did a great job as the villain. I like his acting, period. I think he's a great actor, and I think they need to get this guy away from some of these kind of lower level projects like this one. This was his opportunity, and he showed me that he could act. He could elevate the material.
Dude, he is just so maniacal, dude, and just very matter of fact.
He elevates the material, man. He elevates the material. That's what you want from an actor. You want somebody that takes this material and it's like, this Zack Snyder script is kind of shitty. But you know what? I'm gonna take it to the next level. Now I'm gonna do something with it, and I'm gonna bring out the best of this character. And that's basically what Ed Skrein did with his character. So hey, good job, Ed Skrein. All right. Atticus Noble. Yeah, now I'm interested. The thing I'm interested about is what happens with his character in the next film. That's what I'm interested in. So if there was a redeeming thing that I'm left with from Rebel Moon, it's like, okay, I kind of want to see what happens with this guy. I want to get more into his story because he has a very interesting story. So I want to get more into what's going on with this cat.
Who's the quartermaster for these like dystopian futures? Like who makes these guys clothes? What is like I would have liked them to go more steampunk with this. I think it would have been a fit. But,
steampunk would have been kind of more interesting. Now we get to Djimon Hounsou as General Titus, and you want to talk about the biggest nothing burger in the entire world when it comes to a character. They built this dude up. I was like, all right, man, we're going to get some great, information on this cat. This cat is going to be an amazing character. I was bored, man. I have never been more bored watching a character come on screen and then just sit on the sideline for the remainder of the movie until it was time for him to do something at the end of the movie. And that was pretty much how they did every character that you're about to see out of his. Because when they first showed his character, I was like, okay, Djimon Hounsou, he's a good actor. He shows up in a lot of things, but he's, always kind of memorable. This was the first time I can remember him not being memorable or not being at least interesting. He was memorable in like the 5 seconds he was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I remember him from the original Guardians. He was memorable in them five minutes at the beginning of the movie. And here he almost just disappears into the background. It's like, why did they even have this guy out there, man? Yeah. Yep. So all right, let's move on. Now we get to this cat, Tarak. Let me get this. There we go. Tarak. I guess he was Native American, kind of dances with wolves. Like, I don't know. I wasn't feeling this character. I liked his intro. Again, he's jumping on the back of the creature, and he's like, hey, we got to tame this creature, and he's out there taming the creature and doing all of that kind of stuff. Hey, I enjoyed the scene, but that was it. There was nothing left for this dude to do. He just shows up and he just jumps on the back of a creature and he moves on. It's like whack. This is Zack Snyder at his most worst. Okay. When he's just introducing characters and then, all right, we're done. Let's move on, and then we wait to the end to finally get something from these guys. But then the movie's over. That's why I said it's all set up for the next one. But yeah, any comments on these, by the way, T?
No, not really. I mean, like I said, like it was, you know, if it's almost like Army of the Dead, you know what I mean? At least at Army of the Dead, they were interesting characters, you know what I mean? Like, we're like, whoa. I think he has a hard time struggling with
Yeah,
content
man.
where he has
Yeah, he doesn't know how to write. That's the problem. Then we get to Nemesis. Duna Bay is Nemesis. So this is the chick with the, you know, the swordsman, you know, and she's got like a weird hat, and you know, I cannot remember her outside of that. I don't remember anything about this character. As I'm sitting here right now, I cannot remember anything about this character. She was not memorable except for her look. And all the characters look amazing, but there's nothing to them. They're empty shells.
He'd have been better served. He'd have been better served. I don't know if you remember when Hellboy came out in like 04, and they had a cartoon to go along with it. Like they had their little cartoon version with it too, which you can get with the DVDs. You have to, like, this would have been better suited with a cartoon attached to it. That way I would have been like, okay, man, let me check this out, man. What couldn't they do with special effects that they could do with cartoons? Like, it just doesn't, like, it was just a very boring start to this movie. And it kind of like stayed steady with that boringness, right? And, you know, I think
100%.
They're all trying to go into the same world. It's like when they do that whole, hey, Revenge of the Fallen, Rise of this, Rise of that. Like, they just all are copycats, man. There was nothing really original about this to me. Like, okay, you know, like, okay, we're going to get this kind of in Dune. We're going to get this in like this or like that. There's nothing that separates them to say, hey, man, I'm going to make such good material, dude. And you know what? I feel like the marketing doesn't make you feel like I can't miss this. You know what I mean? There's no
I felt like this was, if you weren't interested in this off rip, you were kind of like, yeah, whatever, you know. Yeah, you can pass on this. Hey, by the way, folks, I see 39 folks in the chat. Thank you, or in the on the video. Thank you very much. Hit the like button. Let's get the likes all the way up as high as we can go. Yeah, let's push them numbers out there. Share the video too if you can. That'll definitely help it get around YouTube and get more people in here to talk to y'all. Okay, Darian Bloodaxe. This was Ray Fisher. You know, Ray Fisher and Zack Snyder go back like babies and pacifiers, man. Them dudes love each other. So he got, he got Ray Fisher in here. You know, I guess, you know, after his experience with what's his name, Joss Whedon. You know, I don't know. I haven't heard him do much more after that. I don't know if he's been in other films or not, but I haven't really heard from him until he was in this, you know. But, you know, Ray Fisher comes in as Darian Bloodaxe. I actually liked his character. I thought he was a cool character, but at the same time, nothing burger, you know, really didn't do much with him, you know. So we get to this point where we have a lot of characters, a lot of people on the screen. I mean, I've just scrolled through like 10 characters, and this movie only had enough dialogue for maybe half of that. You know, character development for maybe about half of that, based on how much runtime there was. You know, they should have absolutely said, you know what, let's scale back some of these characters. Let's wait, you know, till next movie to maybe give these guys an intro. You know, Avengers said Zack really made Ray Fisher look different by giving him dreadlocks. Yeah, it definitely looks different. You know, a lot of people didn't hear, when was Ray Fisher in this? I was like, he was the Bloodaxe guy. You know, he was the little rebel or whatever. So yeah, that definitely worked out. I liked his character. But, you know, he was one of the few that I thought worked. Him, Ed Skrein, and Charlie Hunnam, although, like I said, he was kind of predictable. But, yeah, that was pretty much it, man. I think, is that the last one? Oh, and then this chick, Eve Duffy as Milius. Again, I know she was with the rebels or the resistance. I don't remember her character at all, you know. And some of y'all, look, I saw it like a week ago. Some of y'all probably just saw this thing yesterday. I guarantee you, y'all probably don't even remember this damn character. I can't remember anything about her. T is looking confused. Like, who is this?
This is... Gee, I'm going to be quiet. I got nothing else to put in. I got nothing.
What did you think of Anthony Hopkins? What did you think of the droid? I actually like this character, too. This is another one that I thought, man, I can't get this thing to... There we go. As a droid, I thought this was a fun character. There was a lot to this character, but we only saw him for like 15 minutes, you know, and then that was it. Nah, T ain't feeling it. But yeah, I think that I think when it comes to Rebel Moon, I think Zack Snyder is going to have to, you know, rethink, you know, what he's done here, because I don't think there's much to this entire franchise if he can't tell like a solid 2-hour movie. If this movie is just set up for the next movie, or just half of a 4-hour movie, and we really can't, you know, really dig into the story right now. I mean, this guy's wasting everybody's time at this point. You know, he's just wasting everybody's time.
Yeah.
Final thoughts?
Definitely.
None. All right.
Definitely.
Let's move on to this one, T, because something else came out this weekend. And I don't know. Have you had a chance to see Aquaman yet?
Man, I want to see it today. I want to see it after the show. I'm going to go.
After we get out of here? Okay. Well, I'm not going to spoil it, although I did see it.
Please spoil it, man. Hey, listen. We already know this is trash, man.
Well, look, I haven't given my my like full-throated review of Aquaman, so I'll review it slightly here and tell you just what I thought about it. Number one, it's way too long for the story that it's telling. The first half is dreadfully slow, and when they finally get to picking up some of the action, it does get a little good. But, you know, again, it's just not enough to make this an enjoyable movie. I really felt like this. I felt like this was a lot of dumb fun. If you remember Jurassic World and how you felt about Jurassic World, I felt the exact same way about this movie. It's just dumb fun. You can go, hey, man, brain, here. You sitting on the side, I'll come back and get you after the movie. I'm taking my brain out. I'm leaving it at the door. I'm coming in, and I'm just going to literally sit there with popcorn and just munch and enjoy stupidity, you know, because some things are stupid. And this movie is definitely stupid. It's a dumb movie, but at the same time, has a little bit of charm here and there. It has some charm. Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson, they're like little buddy comedy stuff. They're little bromance. It works at times. It does absolutely work. And you can see what James Wan was going for. He was going for that bromance, that buddy comedy, that buddy, you know, two guys on an adventure together. He was going for that. And it absolutely works at times. There's times where it does work. There's times where it absolutely seems stupid. Like, why are we here, James Wan? What happened? Where did this thing go off the rails? The story is completely disjointed in a lot of plot and in a lot of spaces. So to me, I think you can enjoy it, but it's nothing that you're going to remember. It's nothing to write home about. But if you're just into say, hey, man, you know what? I just need to turn my brain off, go out and chill and watch a movie, get drunk with my friends, have a good time. You can watch Aquaman too. You know, the ending is nothing, you know, everybody's been talking about the ending, you know, because it kind of has this Iron Man ending. You know, I thought that was kind of lame as well. It was really lame when it hits the screen. But yeah, there's some enjoyable stuff. Now, the Amber Heard piece, let me talk about that. Amber Heard is barely in this movie. She's hardly in this movie, but you know, they really don't give her anything to do when she's there. So I honestly believe you could cut the Amber Heard scenes out and you probably wouldn't miss a beat. You know, you could replace it with some other kind of explanation of why we're here or what's going on. But they definitely made a concerted attempt to cut her out of this movie as much as humanly possible. You can tell. So, yeah, she's barely in this thing. But, yeah, if I were to give Aquaman a grade, I would probably give it a 4. I would say it's a 4 out of 10. Again, it's dumb fun, but at the same time, it's mostly dumb. You know, it's a lot of dumb. But you can absolutely go and watch this film and not feel like you just completely wasted your time if you come in with those low expectations and that's what you're expecting. All right. But that's it. That's my quick little review of how I felt about Aquaman. Now, what I wanted to talk about, let's see here. Aquaman flopped because Warner Brothers is polluted with arrogant jerks who are too lazy to do a live-action Superman movie with Brainiac in it. Avengers, you, me, and T are on the same page when it comes to that. We have been screaming, hollering, and begging and kicking down doors everywhere we can for a Superman movie with Brainiac. We have been begging for it. They are never going to do it. Okay. I'm hoping James Gunn sees something because I've heard rumors that there's possibility Brainiac's the main villain. But we'll have to see about that. But this is what I want to talk about. The DCEU is dead. It is over, T. 10 years, 16 movies. It is a wrap. All right. And I wanted to get your thoughts on where the DCEU went right, where the DCEU went wrong. Now that we have this final flop, which is going to be a huge one. Okay, there's going to be there's a whole lot of flopping going on with this one because this movie cost $250 million to make. So they ain't making nowhere near that. This thing is going to flop out the gate and it's going to continue to flop. But I want to hear your thoughts about DC, the DCEU, and where we're at right now, coming out of this and leading into James Gunn's DCU.
I think that I'm going to go with the bad. The bad thing is it never really got started, right? The good thing is it's ended, right? And we're gonna go in a whole totally different direction. If I were them, I would take 10 years off, man. I would take 10 years off and I would separate myself. They're gonna have to do what Batman and Robin did, and take a big hiatus, man, and say, you know what, we got to clean this mess up. I think trying to pump out movies so quick is dumb. You should do what the original Warner Brothers did in the late 90s, mid 90s, where they had cartoons. They had cartoons build up. They didn't put out any movies. They had cartoons that were coming out where you're like, oh man, Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, or this or that. They messed up because they really took their audience for granted, man, and they didn't have any continuity with what they wanted to build on, right? What do we always say? Hey, it all starts with Big Blue. If you don't take care of Big Blue, you're not gonna do it right.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
You did it. You kind of came with a soft launch in 2013 with a soft launch, man, but not hard into it. You know what I mean? You had them go with Zod. Like, people want to see, why do I want to be Superman? You didn't play that right, man. And I think they were better off with a serious tone with their movies. But you livened it up when you went with Momoa and you made your first Billy. You know what I mean? You made your Billy with that, and you just didn't. We had a great Ben Affleck playing Batman. You had a good Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman, dude. You just didn't do what you needed to do to make it solid every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What took so long to get a Kevin Feige like person? Just do that. You guys copycat everything. Why not do that? I think they just flopped on their own, man. The audience doesn't believe in DC, man. Pretty sad, dude, because most of us here know they got the better content, better stories, man, better characters. But you gotta move on past the Joker, man. That cannot be your end all be all, man. The Joker.
Well, I think they're gonna move. I think they're gonna make some moves with the villains. I think they're gonna try to do some different things. Especially with Batman, they're gonna, really highlight Green Lantern. I think the Green Lantern Corps is going to be a huge part of this thing. Also,
they've been saying that since 2016, man.
But they already got Guy Gardner coming in. You got Guy Gardner coming in Superman Legacy, so they're at least they're going to give us a Green Lantern in a proper DC cinematic universe film. It's not just going to be a ring flying through the air like they did in Justice League. But no, I agree with you, T. I think there's a lot that DC left on the table. I think they left a lot of meat on the bone with the DCEU. I think that Henry Cavill was your Superman. He was the perfect Superman, in my opinion. And it like you've always said, he looks like Superman just walked right off the comic book pages and into real life. So to me, and then not only that, Henry Cavill, he is committed to the role. He wanted to be Superman. He enjoyed the role, and he was trying to bring Superman to life. The guy was doing everything in his power to give us the best Superman we've ever gotten. And I think that was one of the biggest sins of Warner Brothers and of comic book content is that Henry Cavill didn't get to complete a live Superman trilogy. Man of Steel 2.
End of Black Adam, dude. That was freaking, man, that was awesome, dude.
I mean, you remember, man. You remember me? I was coming out of the theater charged after that. I came out the theater pumped after that. I charged up, and then they just snatched the rug right out from under everybody, man. It was garbage, man. But like I said, I think that was one of the things that they left on the table, some meat on the bone. I think they didn't get enough out of the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman. I actually thought Gal Gadot played a decent Wonder Woman. They threw her in a lot of things, but she only had really one good movie, and then everything else they had her in, she wasn't really the standout. I would have loved to see, James Gunn. I know he wasn't going to keep this Wonder Woman. He wasn't going to keep anybody. I already knew it, but I would have loved to see a second good Gal Gadot Wonder Woman in action. I would have loved to see that. I think that where they really dropped the ball was the rest of the Justice League. I thought they dropped the ball with the Flash. I thought Ezra Miller was the wrong person for the role. I said that from the very beginning. I thought that he was terrible. All right. I think Jason Momoa's Aquaman is fine, but I don't think to me, I'm still old school. I like, Arthur Curry, the blonde hair, blue eyed Arthur Curry. I didn't really feel his portrayal as a dude, bro, Aquaman. I wanted, more of a like proper Aquaman, like somebody that
was awesome. I thought he was awesome.
I think he had his moments. I'm not a fan of the Jason Momoa Aquaman. I thought I liked the first movie. I thought the second movie was lackluster as hell, but I liked the first one. I thought the first one was fine. But yeah, overall, I just think, and then, Ray Fisher was okay as Cyborg. Cyborg's one of my favorite characters, and I don't think he really embodied him, but he was okay. He didn't.
He was great as a man. They just didn't.
I did not like them. I'm more used to Cyborg being a bit more upbeat. He was a little bit too moody for me. But that's the beginnings of Cyborg, and they should have given Cyborg his own proper film, in my opinion. You should have a Cyborg movie.
Remember, he was scheduled to. They just backed off. They do a lot of moves that didn't make sense. What one character I think they slept on that they should have introduced if you're going to do a comedy thing? You should have had Plastic Man in here. Plastic Man would have been. You had Plastic Man guy.
I think they're gonna get to him.
You could have had that, and you know what? That's an interesting character because of the potential that he has, right? And then you should have definitely did Project Cadmus, dude. And you should have had the Watchtower. You should have done something like Christopher Nolan with momentum, right? Work from the back to get to the front. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is what's happening. And I just think that they think that it's just. I think the DC thinks Warner Brothers thinks those characters are ridiculous. Otherwise,
they don't have any confidence. That's one thing that you're 100% right about that. They do not have any confidence at all whatsoever in the characters that they have. They have no confidence in the DC characters. The only one they have confidence in my opinion, is Batman. That's it. That's the only one they trust.
That's understandable. Yeah. But most people, the only reason people like Batman because they don't remember Batman and Robin. We're like, what is this trash? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, the best two Batmans to me are Batman and Batman Returns. I like, Christopher Walken, amazing actor, dude, in that.
100%. But yeah, let me go ahead and cut into this one right here, because they asked this question: what's next for Jason Momoa and DC? It says right here, this is likely Momoa's final time suiting up as Aquaman. A new DC studio CEO James Gunn and Peter Safran are rebooting the universe, of course. There isn't an Aquaman movie on the DC slate. They've revealed so far, meaning Lost Kingdom is Momoa's farewell tour as of now. But they do bring up, but is this Momoa's last role as a DC character? He reportedly held meetings with Gunn to discuss a future in the DC universe or playing a new character. And then, of course, this is the main rumor. There have been fan rumors that Momoa should play Lobo, a buff, long-haired alien bounty hunter who happens to share some resemblance with Momoa, but nothing is being confirmed. How do you feel about Jason Momoa playing Lobo?
I think that's good. You know what? If you want to see him play Lobo, go watch Stargate Atlantis.
Somebody else brought that up. You're right. Yeah. I think Jason Momoa is born to play Lobo. I think that's his role. That's the role that they need to put him in. And if they drop the ball on that one, there's no hope for DC, But Jason Momoa, in my opinion, is Lobo, in my opinion. That's the character that I want to see him play. If there's any character out there in the DC universe, and if there's any chance of him coming back, make him Lobo. And I think Jason Momoa would absolutely embrace that role. I think he would absolutely turn that role out. And I think he would make Lobo a household name. I feel that way. I feel like Momoa can turn Lobo into one of these characters that everybody talks about, everybody knows, people are excited to see what he does next. I think he's that kind of character, and I think Jason Momoa can get it done in that same way.
Why didn't they just go with the Legion of Doom versus the Justice League? Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you? That was so dumb.
Didn't they start that? They were starting that. Remember, there was a scene where they were going to do the Injustice League. Yeah, at the end of Batman, Superman, with Deathstroke and Jesse Eisenlex or Lexberg or whatever. I think that's what they were going to do. Yeah, they were going in that direction, and I wasn't feeling that. Yeah, Legion of Doom would have been great.
Folks, I'm a big DC guy. I like Marvel too, but I love DC, man. Love favorite character, obviously Superman, man. Love him, dude. But I just feel like we're not getting pen to paper is not translating over to the big screen. We're not getting what we want, man. And people have wanted to see these things for their entire lives, man. You're not giving us what we want, dude.
Not at all.
Hey, The Rock was trying to build something, man. But the reason why that movie did trash, dude, is because the villain in that movie. The villain in that movie was forgettable. He's the villain. Why isn't he going against Shazam? It just
Black Adam should have been out there with Shazam. They should have had Shazam in the movie, and then Black Adam should have been in Shazam too. And even if he was just at the beginning, I think that's what I would have done. I would have had Black Adam and Shazam meeting up, and then we're setting up, Shazam 3, Shazam versus Black Adam. That's
not even mention him. To not even mention him, do some kind of clip like, hey, I'm going over it. Dumb, dude.
Dumb decisions. They just screwed up what they could. They could have had something great. They could have had something amazing. They screwed it up, man. Dumb decisions. Yeah. But anyway, folks, that's it. You guys let us know what you think in the chat about your future DC universe. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? We'll peek in on some of the comments, but I want to hear what you think about the future of the DCU, James Gunn's universe. What are your expectations? We're going to get to another article right here. This is something you wanted to talk about, T, because, this is another casualty of the – I think this is another casualty of the reboot because we were going to get Justice League Dark. But unfortunately – they made a move and said, nah, we're not going to get Justice League Dark, because that's not a part of James Gunn's plans. Maybe at least not right now. But this is what we got, man. We have this article that came out regarding another cancellation of the of a DCEU or maybe a DCU movie. I'm not sure. But it says here, with the DCEU officially ending this year, another DC Comics superhero movie that was previously in the works at Warner Brothers has been canceled. So this is the official cancellation. They got Superman obviously showing here. And here's the movie they're talking about. The ZATANNA movie has been canceled as director Emerald Fennell confirms the cancellation, expressing her love for the project. The film was going to be tied to J.J. Abrams' franchise, as Fennell reveals the movie was part of Abrams' plan to reboot Justice League Dark Universe. Despite not typically gravitating towards the superhero genre, Fennell found the concept of making a superhero film intriguing. Now, here's a big problem that I got with this particular individual making this, and I'm going to let you comment on it. I'm not sure if you heard about it, but this is the problem that I have, okay? Despite not typically gravitating towards the superhero genre, full stop. Why are we bringing in people to direct the film that have no connection to the superhero genre? Yeah, I wanted a ZATANNA movie too. Okay, I wanted a ZATANNA movie. I wanted Justice League Dark. I think Justice League Dark is some of the best stuff that they do. But you gotta bring in the right people for this. And first of all, J.J. Abrams was definitely one of the wrong people to have associated with DC. That guy has screwed up every franchise he's touched. He screwed up Star Trek. He screwed up Star Wars. And now you're going to bring him in to screw up DC? Thank God they shit canned him and they went in a different direction. Okay, let's just all say that as DC fans. Yes. Papa Palpatine. No, JJ, please. Hell no. But here's the thing. If you're going to bring in some people, bring in people that absolutely care about this. I want y'all to read this quote. Here's the quote from this young director. Okay, this chick, what's her name? Emerald. I forgot. I can't find her name yet. Emerald Fennell. Okay. Emerald Fennell was asked what happened to her ZATANNA movie and whether or not it's still moving forward. She confirmed it was scrapped as she shared what was going to happen with the movie. So here's what she says. No, it's not happening. I loved it, though. This was something I was working on before Promising Young Woman. It was when J.J. Abrams had arrived at Warner Brothers and was going to reboot the Dark Universe. And they were going to make this kind of a dark villain universe or a sort of hero/villain universe. I thought he was the coolest and his team at Robot was so cool and interesting. And because I love genre of all kinds, I was definitely interested. I was like, I don't know a whole lot about the superhero genre. This is who they got making superhero movies with J.J. Abrams. I don't know a whole lot about the superhero genre. It's not a genre I naturally gravitate towards. So I'd love to know, how does one make a superhero movie like that? This is what J.J. Abrams was going to do. Please, Hollywood, stop putting J.J. Abrams in front of your project. Stop letting this dude touch legit franchises. Stop it. This is who he was going to bring in here. Some chick that has no idea what she's doing when it comes to making a superhero movie. And it's a character that nobody cares about ZATANNA. Let's just go ahead and just throw this out there. This is the crap I'm talking about. This is why the Marvels and the DCs and Star Wars and all of these major franchises, this is why they suffer, because it's these people that are making the content. This is bullshit, man. For someone like me who doesn't know so much and wouldn't necessarily buy a ticket for that first time around, this is the type of person that wouldn't even go and buy a ticket to this crap. This is the stuff that pisses me off. Now, I know, T, you're probably going in a different direction with this entire topic, but this is what I wanted to bring up real quick. I can't stand when these producers, these studios, and Kevin Feige's guilty of it. What he did with Nia DaCosta. Hey, let's hire a woman, all right, so because we just need a chick to direct a movie, and we're just going to have her go out there and then, put some chicks in it and all that kind of crap. And it's like, what's the point? You're not even, these people don't care about the comic book genre like that. They don't care about the films. They don't care about the characters. They don't care about the stories. They don't care about any of this. All they're doing is just putting content together. Oh, she's a really, really cool character. Oh, yeah, let me play in this playground. It sounds like Rian Johnson. That was the Rian Johnson's effect. I just want to play in this playground. I don't give a damn about this crap. I just want to play in a playground, you know? All right, T, my rant is done. I want to hear what you had to say about ZATANNA and all of this crap, man, because this kind of stuff just man, gets on my nerves, man. Go ahead.
That was some rant. I like ZATANNA. It's a great character. I think to piggyback on what you said, man, you're not going to find directors, man, that they don't know how to direct that stuff, man. They don't know how to direct, because to me, you could have did ZATANNA. I would have went to Nolan and said, hey, do you mind if we do like how you did with what was that one movie he had? The Prestige. Can we make a ZATANNA movie like that where you got and make it really be interesting, dude? Because like, hey, have her be her father's assistant, man. Boom, her father gets hit by something, dude, struck by this. Then you could have brought back in Dr. Fate. You could have did a lot of things, really, really interesting, cool things. You could have brought in. You could have did time travel with that, with going to different dimensions. She could have met up with freaking Constantine. It could have been really, really good. The issue is, man, like I always knew J.J. Abrams coming on. That was a big old hoax, man. Just like there was going to be the Ta-Nehisi Coates and the Black Superman.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It's called Icon. Icon is the Black Superman, okay? We don't need...
Why can't they do Icon? Why can't they do... T, you know why they can't do... Why can't they do Icon?
Because he's conservative.
Because he's conservative. Because he would be a Trump supporter. That's why. You know what I'm saying? That's why they can't do it. Because he's a conservative. So Icon, if you want to do Black Superman, that's who they should be doing. Icon. Great character.
Back to this. The director, of course, they don't know what they don't want to look at the other material and have it influence them. I think we, as hard as we are on the directors, we should be even hard on the writers, man. The writers kind of suck, dude. You know what I mean? They just.
But you know why? But the writers, here's the thing, though. The writers are taking direction from the directors as well. When they have to go back and rewrite something, they're listening to what the directors are saying about the script, because the director, ultimately, it's the director's film. The writer has just got to capture the director's ideas.
It's all storyboard. How are you not making this stuff storyboard like? You know what they're doing? They're doing more. Remember Willow? Willow, when we first saw Willow back in the late 80s, Willow was the biggest thing for Lucasfilm, man. Oh, man, Willow, dude, they had the storyboard, but the movie tanked because it wasn't a good movie. Now, it's dumb fun, classic.
Yeah, it is.
But it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, you look back on Willow. Willow had a lot of, memories for me as a kid growing up, and it's a fun movie. It's for kids, though. It's a kids movie. That's really what it is.
What are you going to sell here? How are you going to sell this? Magic is not. How are you going to go past Harry Potter in this? You can't, man. It's not a. You need video. You're gonna need to do what they did in the 80s. You need to package stuff. You need to package stuff. When you gave me Transformers, you gave me Transformers and the toys. Man, how can I get the toys, dude? And it's a process to get there. These projects aren't package. I told you before, you need to do like a cartoon. Most people don't know who Zatanna is. You think they was gonna come up with Zatanna after what happened with Blue Beetle? Blue Beetle is a great character, dude, and you just trashed him, dude. You trashed him, dude. I like the kid playing the role. I like the actors in the movie. I just thought it was just a bad script, dude.
They didn't have a good concept of it. I thought the movie was okay. It's not the worst DC movie this year. I can tell you that.
Shazam is to me. Shazam too.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so I've been reading some of y'all comments in regards to what they should do when it comes to DC, the DC universe. So I'm gonna kind of scroll through some of these because I think they're interesting. Wait, let me get back to where it was. We were talking about J.J. Abrams. J.J. is another one. Ego Border. J.J. is another one who can't write and gets put in charge as creators all the time. J.J. is mystery box. He just wants to throw everything in the mystery box. Let's mystery box this entire thing and hope it works out. That's J.J. Abrams. That's his problem right there. J.J. and Snyder should be forbidden from ever making movies for the rest of their lives. Yeah, that's too funny, man. But yeah, there we go. Soren Reznor loves Zatanna. I mean, all of us do. I think all of us that are DC fans love the hell out of Zatanna and what she was as a character. I might watch Zatanna if they did her right. I think we would all love a good Zatanna. Like I said, a good Justice League Dark universe, I think would work out well. Let's see. Look up Fennel's movies, dude. We dodged a huge bullet. I didn't know anything about her. I still don't know anything about her. I have to look her up and see what y'all talking about. Soren Reznor, they should adapt Justice League Unlimited. I would love it. But would they do it right? I don't think they would. I honestly don't.
Young Justice. She was awesome in Young Justice.
Young Justice. They could do a back-to-back Young Justice League. It would take the world by storm, man. Why can't they do Val Zod? Man, I'm not.
I like that. Hey, Labanita.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's just race swap Superman, in my opinion. That's how I see it. I just see it as race swap Superman. That's
season 4 of Young Justice. That character was awesome.
Yeah. If they adapted Justice League Unlimited, I want Martian Manhunter to play a big role for the team. Martian Manhunter is so slept on. Such a slept on character, man. Such a slept on character.
He's part of the original 7.
He's part of the original 7. And they just sleep on him. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Steel is the only black Superman. Yeah. I mean, that's one way of looking at it. But yeah, man, that was it, man. Yeah, so hot Zatanna can curse me anytime, Jose Sorenko. Hey, man, you get a hot chick to play Zatanna, man, that's box office gold right there, T. You get a really hot actress, a beautiful, voluptuous, tall. Come on, man. That would be box office gold right there, but you got to be voluptuous. No more flat chested chicks out here. All right, let's move on. Let's move on, T. Let's talk about this one right here. Okay, you sent me this, and I'm not exactly sure where you wanted to go with it, but I did have some thoughts about it myself. Michael Mann says he's not interested in superhero movies, but he did praise Guardians of the Galaxy. So here's what I liked about this whole situation. We've heard from Martin Scorsese, and I think Ridley Scott too had his comments in regards to superhero movies, and how he didn't think they're very good or whatever. Says here, the conversation around superhero movies seems to be constantly evolving, with the trend having plenty of defenders and detractors. After Martin Scorsese went viral multiple times over his comments regarding the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and a number of other directors have been asked to share their thoughts on the subject. But Michael Mann has a unique outlook. The director who helmed films like Heat and Ferrari told the Playlist Discourse podcast he doesn't personally see himself helming a superhero project. But basically he's saying, he liked Guardians of the Galaxy, although he didn't like necessarily, I guess he didn't praise Guardians 3. Maybe he hasn't seen it yet. I don't know. But he said, Guardians of the Galaxy, dope, So, yeah, I think that's interesting. Not everybody is going to have the same opinions. Some of these, high-end filmmakers like a Martin Scorsese. But you got a guy like Michael Mann that says, yeah, I'm with it. Guardians of the Galaxy was cool. Now, he didn't say anything about nothing else, but yeah, he said, yeah.
He's
I
phenomenal.
like, but yeah, go ahead, T. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He's phenomenal, dude. He's really. I mean, if you
Michael
guys,
Mann.
Michael Mann writes good stuff, writes and directs great stuff, dude. The Collateral's great. You know what I mean? Maybe I didn't like the Miami Vice one that he did with Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx. Man, I have to look it over again. Maybe it aged well, but dude, this dude he's phenomenal. If you got somebody like that who I highly respect as a director because his material stands on his head, you could watch Miami Vice right now, episode 1 through all the seasons, dude. It was just a great show, dude. It ran its course and got canceled, but it didn't get canceled because the ratings were low. It just got canceled because it just ran its course, dude. Great show. I mean, dude. He's an iconic director, dude. So for the fact that an iconic director is praising something, because he's, you know what he's thinking? He is tinkering with stuff, saying, if I could just play with that man and do this and do that, that's what we need. We need that kind of realism, dude. That you don't have young directors that do that. You know, Ryan Coogler was a great director. He directed an okay Black Panther. Does it hold up right now? No, because it really didn't have much story. Right.
Yeah. Black Panther falls off tremendously after this.
Right. When you watch Wakanda Forever, that is a horrible movie, man. Horrible movie.
I still haven't seen it.
Very, very Disney. Disney put his tentacles in it, man. But if you got Michael Mann talking about, hey, man, that's a great movie, dude. Come on, dude. That's respect.
Okay. But yeah, I thought it was interesting that Michael Mann had brought that up, basically, you know, because Martin Scorsese been going in, you know, on superhero content. He's been going in hard. So I was kind of cool. Like, all right, man, he absolutely, you know, he likes, you know, some stuff, you know, and I think superhero movies, like all of the, you know, the criticism that they get, you know, the kind of like, I think Scorsese called them, you know, theme park rides. And he's right about a lot of these. They are theme park rides. But I think, you know, when you get somebody like a Chris Nolan with The Dark Knight, you know, I think even with Sam Raimi and the original first 2 Spider-Man films, you know, you got quality out there. Captain America, Winter Soldier is another one. The Avengers, the original Avengers, and the Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. I love those films, you know. I think there's good stuff and bad stuff. And a lot of the bad stuff, unfortunately, is starting to come out because, you know, people see, oh, there's a buck to be made. I can make a quick buck off of a Hollywood superhero movie. And then they're just throwing crap on the screen and it's not working.
And, you know, he's speaking from a place, pardon me, but he's speaking from a place where he's saying, hey, I can't sell this to adult males. My audience, they're talking from a standpoint of saying, my audience is not teens, you know what I mean? And young men. My audience was for an older audience who's familiar with my acting, familiar with my direction, familiar with this kind of intense stuff. That's why he goes back to the same material every time. Yep. He just talking from a place where he's saying, hey, man, I don't like this space, man, because he said, I direct a better movie than what you guys are getting, but I can't do that genre, right? And a lot of people can't, man. You know, he's being upfront about it, like, so he's like an old man. So, oh, that's whack. Oh, my God, old timer. You know, this is my kids, right? My kids are doing something. I'm like, oh, man, what? You know, but my kids are playing Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons, when I was young, came out. They still, my son loves it. You know what I mean? He went to go see the Dungeons and Dragons movie. What? They did something for the fans. It didn't work out, man, but they played with it at least and say, hey, you know what, man? Let's try. Let's try to give the fans what they want, man. Does the marketing terrible in that? Of course, the marketing was bad, man. You're only going to your movie's only going to do as good as the marketing and to the audience that is ready to receive this.
I couldn't agree more, bro. That's the biggest thing, man, is that the movies aren't doing well because the audiences aren't feeling what they're trying to do. You know,
not for $15 per person to get in the theater and have this whack stuff, dude. And then they don't want to see this. When I gotta do, look. How many movies have sex scenes anymore?
I don't necessarily need sex scenes, though.
I'm just saying
I want good content. I want good content. I want good stories.
I don't even have to do this to my kids. Well, my kids are grown, but
it's a lot. It's a lot right now going on in theaters where you got and on television for that matter. You know, we was talking the other day about the boy in the dress dancing on the Cocoa Melon. And all of that kind of crap, man. There's so much crap going on right now in entertainment. You know, it is so much crazy stuff going on in entertainment. But here go another topic. Okay, we're gonna move on to this topic right here. Now, this one, This one's hot button, T, and I haven't heard you speak out on this one yet, but I need to hear what you got to say about this joint right here, okay? All right, I did a video about this, discussing this situation right here. Vin Diesel, all right, got himself in a little bit of hot water, 13 years ago, T. 13 years it's been since this man apparently had some allegations against this dude. And yeah, we got to talk about what's going on with this dude, Vin Diesel, getting sued for sexual battery. Now, have you heard the story, T? Have you heard all about it?
I'm not familiar with the man, but you don't. And look, I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna
bring up. Here's the problem. Here's the problem, T. We gotta care. Okay,
what?
We gotta care. We gotta care because here's the thing, T. It affects innocent people. Innocent people have been affected by. Wait. Let me break it down for you. Okay, let me break it down. Here's my point. Okay, so now it's been 13 years since this cat has apparently had any contact with this woman, and then out of nowhere, here comes some allegations, and you start wondering, okay, why now? And they give their reasons as to why now, but you start thinking, okay, wait a minute, we keep seeing this happen again and again and again. Do you know the first thing that came to my mind when I heard about this? It wasn't, you know who it was? Brian Banks. First thing that hit my head when I started this, Brian Banks, and how this stuff absolutely can ruin somebody's life. Okay, if you guys don't know who Brian Banks is, he was a football player, played locally here in Long Beach at Long Beach Poly, and as a kid, he was accused of basically assaulting a fellow student, accused of it, because he's a kid and he probably had bad lawyering or, nobody gave him good advice. He pled no contest. And what ends up happening, of course, the girl made the whole thing up. She made the entire story up. Everything was made up. Now, I'm not saying that this chick over here, Asta Jonason, is making this up. But it's like, okay, wait a minute. Why haven't you gone to the police? This is just a legal suit as far as I know, or I'm sorry, a civil suit as far as I know. No cops have been, questioning anybody, reviewing any evidence, taking any testimony, nothing. It's just her word saying this happened. And I mean, maybe she has some evidence, maybe she got some information. I don't know. But in my opinion, this is a criminal matter. Why is this not going to legal places? Why are we still talking about this? Oh, well, we're going to take them to court and sue them. That's the problem that I have. I had brought this up, man. Let me show y'all what happened with Brian Banks. So this is the Brian Banks cat right here, okay? Football player, all right? And his situation, all right, let me zoom in on that. False accusation of sexual assault, all right? In the summer of 2002, right? 16 years old. And she's falsely accusing him of dragging her into a stairway, committing an act of violence against her. He gets expelled from school. And then next thing you know, because he was faced with a possible 41 years to life sentence, he accepts a plea bargain that includes 5 years in prison, 5 years of probation, registering himself as a sex offender. I just got a big problem with this type of crap. This happens way too often, and we're starting to see more and more of it come out. And then, of course, later down the line, when he meets her on Facebook, she admits in the presence of a private investigator that she had fabricated the story. This is the problem that I have with this Vin Diesel story, because, again, it's coming out how many years later? 13 years later? And it's like this cat, I'm not a fan of Vin Diesel like that. I don't really care to, whatever. He did it. I'm not trying to cape for this guy. I'm not trying to, stand up for this dude. If he did it, he did it. He should go to jail. But why are we not pursuing criminal charges? I'm getting to the point now when it comes to this stuff, I want to see the police report first. I don't want to hear about it. And if you didn't go get a police report, you're full of shit. At that point, that's how I feel about it. You're full of shit because you aren't doing the proper protocol to handle this type of stuff. This should be going to the cops. This should be going before a criminal investigation. Somebody should be investigating this situation, So, yeah, I'm going to take the time just to talk about that, T. But I want to hear if you have any thoughts. That Service Dog Show, all men should have a GoPro and along with women to protect themselves. I mean, it's getting to that point. It's getting to that point. And I don't know what Vin Diesel's, situation is right now. If he has enough evidence to clear his name, or if, it depends on the judge. It's going to depend on who his lawyer, and that, it seems like it's going to be, out of court settlement. That's what it seems like to me anyway. But I mean, it's just getting to the point where it's like, what the hell is going on here? We keep seeing this, and again, I'm not a Vin Diesel fan, but I just hate to see somebody else get accused of something. 13 years go by. Nobody's saying nothing. And then all of a sudden, here we go. Let's start talking about this sexual assault. And it's like, wait a minute. It was like the freaking judge from, well, not the judge. What's his name? The Supreme Court judge, Kavanaugh. And he had to sit up there and deal with that crap. And it's like, and then it just gets dropped and just goes away. And that's that. It's like, come on, y'all. This is getting ridiculous. But anyway, T, I want to hear what you got to say, bro.
Like I said, I don't have a dog in the race here, but what if it was true, man? What if it is true and she just didn't know how to say, she just, hey, nobody's hearing me. Nobody's hearing me. She could have been saying this for 13 years, saying something's happening. You know what I mean? Like Ben Diesel is a big movie star, big time movie star. They got a Fast and Furious franchise they've been trying to do. I hope the allegations aren't true, man. I hope that, it's not, but people will go to crazy lengths, man, to get their money. But if she hasn't been heard for 13 years, man, and if somebody's finally listened to it, I mean, how many stories do we know about? Hey, man, we've been saying this is, childhood pedophilia has been going on in Hollywood. Yeah. They're screaming that for years, dude.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. Apparently, she was under an NDA. And that's her reasoning for not saying anything, because she was under an NDA. But it's like, wait a minute, like with NDA, if you're under that NDA from 13 years ago, then keep it there. Because if you're going to try to come out now, I don't get it. You know why? Because you want some money. You ain't taking him you're not trying to get him in jail for what he did. You're trying to get money out of his pocket. To me, that's suspect.
She ran out of money, man. Most people don't know nothing, man. They live in the lifestyle, man. They're like,
yeah,
what? Whatever has happened. He signed an NDA. He paid her, man. That's something.
No. There was no money exchange. She's trying to get money now. They were under an NDA because I guess if you are working for, let me see if it even mentions that in here. But if you are like an employee, it says she was only a 9-day employee. She was only working for him for 9 days. But yeah, it says here. Jonasson, who signed a non-disclosure agreement preventing her from discussing anything related to Diesel, attributes the filing of her suit to legislation barring enforcement of such contracts in certain instances, and California law reviving the statute of limitations for sexual misconduct until 2026. So basically, she had an NDA that says she can't talk about anything to deal with Vin Diesel, regardless of what it is. I would have said, bunk that non-disclosure agreement. This man attacked me. This man has committed assault against me. I'll just have to deal with whatever contractual things that fell out from that. But we going to court. I'm going to the police tomorrow. Yeah, like I don't understand. Like, oh well, I can't discuss anything that happened to Diesel, or anything that happened related to Vin Diesel because I'm under an NDA. It's absolutely insane. They say a lot of other players are coming in. Sean Diddy Combs, Jamie Foxx, Neil Portnow. A lot of people are going down for this apparent law. And again, maybe something happened, but it just sounds suspect as hell. That's just the way I see it. I don't know. It just sounds suspect. When you see, it says the suit claims he grabbed her wrist, one with each of his hands, and pulled her onto the bed. She immediately tried to escape his grasp. He dropped to his knees, pushed her dress up towards her waist, and molested her body. Like, if somebody's doing all of that crap, come on. You gonna tell me you ain't gonna say nothing to the cops?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It just seems weird to me, man. It just seems off to me. But, that's it. I didn't know what everybody else think about it. To me, I hate this. I hate this kind of crap because to me, it just kind of, it's either letting crooks and criminals get away with murder or get away with, some really heinous crimes, which I am against 100%. If he did it, he needs to go to jail. Okay. But at the same time, it's also been, well, I'm a little short on bread right now, or maybe I don't have the money, that I once had. So let me go ahead and start, accusing this one famous person that I happen to work for.
Bread or no bread. Hey, if you wrong, man, you wrong, man.
Yeah, I agree. Go to jail. But that's why I'm saying I want criminal charges. I don't want you jumping straight to the civil suit. You should be pushing for criminal charges right now. go to jail. What they do, they did that with the cars, right? Uh-oh, T froze up. Okay, there you go. They did that with the cars. They didn't go to the civil suit. They threw them in jail, right? So it's the same thing to me. That's just the way I look at it. But anyway, I'm off my soapbox. I had to get that out, man, because I was pissed. I don't like that kind of crap. Okay, T. We got one more thing that I want to discuss. Wait a minute. Is this it?
Hold on. I gotta run, D. I gotta run, man. My stomach is growling.
Oh, shoot. All right, bro. Hey, thanks for showing out, man. I appreciate it. I understand. Hey. Yeah, you got to go see that Aquaman. Go, hey, man. When you finish Aquaman, hit me up. Let me know what you think.
I'm gonna hit you up, hey, and I'll be here next week for a full show. Apologize for that, man. Got some other arrangements right now, but hey, I'm happy to be back, y'all. Hey, let me know in the comment section.
All right, no worries, man. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it.
All right,
later on. All right, y'all. Last couple of topics. Okay, so this one, I was discussing this on EchoBase Network. EchoBase Network. We were discussing some of the pictures that were coming out, and I just wanted to share this because I'm super excited about this right now, man. I am really pumped up in regards to this thing right here. Let me show y'all this. Okay, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I am an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. I enjoy this. This anime, or it's not an anime, it's really a, just a regular Western. I guess a Western anime would be a better term for it. But look, Avatar is one of my all-time favorite shows. And when I heard that they were going to be doing a live action version of this, man, I was stoked. I was like, please don't mess this up. Please do not mess this up. And looking at these photos, it's kind of like how I feel with the Superman Legacy casting. They're doing the job with this, man. Now look at this. Look at this Aang, and it looks like that's probably Appa there in the background. But I mean, this Aang looks amazing. I'm just going to kind of scroll through some of these. Look at June, man. If anybody is an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan, look at this. This is incredible costuming. This looks absolutely amazing. This is exactly what you would want to see from, this particular show. June looks incredible. And then we move on here. Looks like we got Suki. Sorry, I was drawing a blank there. Suki looks amazing as well, man. The costume in here looks incredible. I think this is the Grand. I want to say this is probably Grand. Oh, no. This is Grand. I don't know who is this person. I don't remember this person. But yeah, this is Grand. This is Grand from Sokka and Katara's tribe. I mean, again, you see the hair, the braid, the whole look, everything like that looks absolutely incredible. This is, I believe, Jet. Looks great, man. Like, I have a lot of high hopes for this Avatar: The Last Airbender because, again, look at the Mechanist, man. The Mechanist looks amazing, man. This is quality right here. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you go and watch that cartoon and then you look at it looks like this guy just stepped right out of the cartoon. This looks absolutely amazing. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this as well. And then you see the Aang gang on the back, minus Toph, obviously, but we'll get to Toph in season 2, I guess. On the back of Appa, man, that looks incredible as well. Another shot of Aang. You got Sokka and Katara. Oops, skipped one. This one I think is, oh yeah, that's Suki. Yeah, again, man, these pictures look amazing, and I'm stoked. Uncle Iroh and Zuko. I'm hoping that when this thing does come out, that because I know they made some slight changes to it. It's apparently going to cover the entire season. It's going to be 10 episodes. So I'm really hoping that, the changes that they made to it aren't too insane, but they did say, yeah, there are some narrative changes. Like, I know for a fact, Azula is going to be in the first season, and she doesn't really show up until the second season if you've watched it. So Azula being in the first season, I'm not sure exactly. I think even this scene right here, this particular scene might be from the second season of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I mean, it reminds me of that spot with the rough rhinos. I think that's maybe where this is at. But yeah, then you had Fire Lord Ozai. Sorry. Yeah, Fire Lord Ozai looks great. You got Zuko again. Man, it's just, again, I'm looking forward. Uncle Iroh looks great. This thing keeps skipping. That's Azula right there. I think this is General Zhao. right here. Azula. Another shot of Aang. I mean, doesn't this look amazing? If you are an Avatar The Last Airbender fan, you got to be pumped up. You got to be stoked for this right now because this looks incredible. I'm hoping like hell that they don't drop the ball on this. Netflix, they're hit and miss, for every, One Piece, you get a Death Note, like that's just the way, Netflix has been. So this right here has me in a very positive mood when it comes to, this particular live action adaptation. It has me very positive about this whole thing. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. If they don't screw this up, in my opinion, this is going to be the next One Piece. If they don't screw up Avatar, The Last Airbender, it will be the next One Piece. It will be the thing that everybody's talking about, everybody's geeking out about. It's going to be a live action adaptation that you can absolutely recommend to your friends that have never seen it and say, hey, yo, you got to go and check this out. Okay. And then on top of that, it will build the fans. Okay. It will build that fan base out, because that's what the effect that One Piece had, which what I was excited about. It absolutely has expanded the One Piece fan base. And now more people are checking out One Piece. More people are checking out anime. It's like they're doing it right. And, again, we always talk bad about Hollywood, but we also got to talk about the things that are being done correctly. And then this absolutely is something that they're doing correctly, at least so far, so good. We'll have to see how things play out. But so far, I am excited about that. That looks absolutely dope. And again, if you're a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, in my opinion, you should be excited about that as well. Because it looks amazing so far. So far, it looks amazing. All right, let's get to this last topic before we scoot up out of here. We lost T and we lost Ray. Yeah, everybody kind of dipped out on me, but that's cool. Ray was here, okay, just in case anybody was wondering. Ray actually came in. He was handling, kind of clicking on some of those comments behind the scene. But yeah, let's get to this last topic. And I don't know if this one is one that I don't know how the reactions are going to be on this one, but this is in regards to, of course, our good friend Ray, the new Star Wars movie that everybody's talking about. And the question is, hey, can they do anything with this character? Can they resurrect this character? Can they make this character exciting? Can they make people enjoy this character and like this character? Screen Rant came out with this article. Ray's new Star Wars movie must break George Lucas's prequels rule to avoid just being episode 10. So I'm going to tell y'all why Screen Rant is often wrong about their articles. They're often wrong about their opinions is because they don't understand really what the fans, they're kind of looking at it from their slant, and they're not looking at it from the reasons that this character doesn't work to begin with. They're not looking at why Ray failed as a character. They're just looking at what they want and what they think would work for Star Wars. So it says here, the upcoming Star Wars movie will inevitably be labeled episode 10, though it could remove one George Lucas franchise rule to set itself apart. So I'm going to jump right to it because I don't think there's any point in going through all of this article. Ray's upcoming movie should break the tradition of rhyming with the Star Wars saga to differentiate itself and ensure a sense of finality for the final or for the original 9 films. So if you guys remember, George Lucas has this whole thing. It's poetry. It rhymes. All right. So Star Wars kind of rhymes with other Star Wars. So people will watch Star Wars content and it's like, oh, yeah, this is similar to what happened in a previous iteration of Star Wars or a previous episode of Star Wars or a previous movie, or these characters are similar in the way that they kind of are, the way we should see them through the franchise. Okay. So they're saying, yeah, they should get rid of that. They shouldn't do that anymore. They should set Rey off on her own. But what they don't understand is Rey has kind of already been set off on her own. She's nothing like any character, in terms of characterization that we've seen in Star Wars. She's kind of a busted, broken character because she doesn't really rhyme and she doesn't really fit within Star Wars, So once again, this is the problem with a lot of people that give Star Wars this advice. Oh, this is what you need to do. J.J. Abrams probably thought he was doing something clever by, basically doing this soft reboot of Star Wars. And then, saying, okay, we're going to reboot this thing. We're going to wipe out all the original characters. We're going to wipe out, Han Solo and then hand his, part over. We're going to wipe out Luke and then hand him over. And then, ultimately Leia. We're going to get rid of these, characters one by one, and we're going to bring in all of these new characters, and then everybody will embrace them. But what he failed to understand is that you don't have good characters to begin with, to replace anybody with, Rey is such a empty shell of a character with no real like valid without a real character arc. You know, they try to manufacture some character arc for her. She's just an empty shell. You know, and I've done a video breaking down the differences between her and Luke. How come she's a Mary Sue? Everybody calls her a Mary Sue because she is. And, you know, I did a video about that. You know, just the breakdowns between her and Luke Skywalker and why the character just simply doesn't work. Why she will never be beloved is because they made everything too easy for her and they didn't give her any challenges to go through, you know, nothing pretty much. Avengers says Bob Iger destroyed Star Wars the moment he rejected George Lucas's pitch for a sequel trilogy. 100%. You're absolutely right, Avengers. You know, if you don't have George Lucas's vision behind Star Wars doesn't work, you know, which is why I'm saying like getting rid of his tradition of rhyming with the Star Wars or with the Skywalker saga. That's dumb, you know. It says here, by abandoning the rhyme scheme and storytelling repetitions, Rey's Jedi Order can establish its own unique style, tone, and atmosphere. Then it's not Star Wars. It's not Star Wars if you're trying to do your own thing. You got to relate it back to what George Lucas's original vision is. That's the only way around it. You cannot continue to write Star Wars not thinking about George Lucas and what George Lucas would do in this situation. Every single like movie, what would George do? What was George's original vision? There's been a lot of like sci-fi stuff that has been written over the years. Why is it that Star Wars took off like a rocket ship and everything else just fell by the wayside? Is anybody asking these questions? Does anybody over there down there at Lucasfilm, Kathleen, are you asking? Well, why is it that this George Lucas project is just amazing and everybody loved it? There was all kinds of sci-fi stuff that was going on that never took off the way Star Wars did. Does anybody sit there and ask these questions? And they probably do. And then they go to something stupid like, oh, they had lightsabers. Yeah, people love lightsabers. So let's give more lightsabers, more Jedi and more lightsabers. That's what this stupid Acolyte show is going to do. Acolyte is going to be nothing but lightsabers galore and Jedi galore. We're going to have more Jedi than ever before. And it's like, yeah, it's not going to work. Okay. Just having a bunch of Jedi in it and having a bunch of lightsaber battles is not Star Wars. All right. They don't understand the myth making that was going behind George when he was writing Luke Skywalker's character. They don't understand that. So yeah, if you can't get something out of Rey that resonates as either a hero or a villain, I say go the villain route. You can make Rey into a villain, a good villain. Okay. People don't like her anyway. So you can really like dip into that, turn her dark and make her a villain. Almost irredeemable. But then you bring Finn along and then Finn redeems his friend, you know, and you can make it a real tragic story. There's all kinds of possibilities you can do with Rey. But just as with the stuff that they're talking about to her just doing the Jedi, oh, she's going to start the Jedi Order up and she's going to, you know, establish, you know, and train a new young set of Jedi. That's boring. That's boring and nobody's going to buy it. Nobody's going to like it. That's basically Luke Skywalker's, you know, post Return of the Jedi story arc. That's his character, you know, and they're just giving it to Rey at this point, you know. But yeah, I thought that, you know, this article, I'm not going to really go through it because it's just a bunch of screen rant nonsense. But I just wanted to point that piece out again. This is the kind of stuff that, you know, dropping Lucas's rhyming scheme is actually a way to honor his legacy, as it allows the original three trilogies to stand on their own, while new continuations of the franchise can explore new paths in the galaxy Lucas created. Again, if it's not George Lucas's vision of myth making, of mythology, teaching his lessons through myth, okay, that's basically what George Lucas was doing, you know, clinging to the dark side or clinging to the light and getting, you know, pushing the dark side away, you know, and teaching those lessons. The same thing like myth. You see it in Greek myth, Roman myth, you know, fables and stories. That's basically what George Lucas was doing. He was like writing fables, and he just did it in the context of this galaxy. But he was teaching these lessons for people to kind of, you know, understand, hey, this is the way you should operate in the world. He said these things, you know, here are the problems that, you know, as I see and in the world, and these are the things we need to hold dear. And George Lucas was an absolute pioneer when it came to that, in my opinion, for this particular generation. He wasn't breaking like the mold or anything, but he was doing something that absolutely like resonated with the people of his time. Now, when it comes to the current, you know, era, you got to change it up a little bit. I'm not saying you can do the exact same things you did back then. You could absolutely change it up, but you know, you got to figure out what works for Star Wars and why Star Wars works. And it just seems like these guys, don't understand Star Wars, and that's the main problem. Ego Border says, I really want to see if this movie gets made. Disney is insane if it's more than $5. Yeah, I have a feeling that they're going to spend a little bit more than that. That's why this thing is going to flop. This thing is going to absolutely flop 100%. Luke Skywalker is George Lucas. That's why the movie is fantastic, because it's biased, or because it's based in a human, not being an ideology. 100%, man. Soren, that was a great comment right there. Again, George Lucas understood what it meant. Like, he understood the character of Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is a character that it's again, he's myth. It's a mythical style character, of the hero's journey. He's the hero of myth. That's basically what, Luke Skywalker is. And so all you got to do is just double down on what George Lucas originally did. Okay, let's dip back into the hero's journey. Let's find different mythologies maybe that we can explore, and then let's dip into the hero's journey. Let's create a character with some real depth to him, not this nonsense with Rey, but an actual character with depth. And let's go in. I mean, I think it would be amazing. Let's see. I want to see a Jedi throw around 2 lightsabers like their pom-poms again. Nobody wants to see that. Come on, Seth. Nobody wants to see that crap. Oh, man. If you want to peek at Iger's startup, look up David Lynch, David Letterman. He's the guy that ruined Twin Peaks. Okay. I've never been like a huge Twin Peaks fan. I know a lot of people like Twin Peaks. It's never been my thing. Never been something that I was really like embracing. But how does moving away from George Lucas's legacy honor him? That's a lie. Exactly, Cal. That's my point. Like, if you want to honor George Lucas, if you really want to honor George Lucas, this is what you need to do. You need to go. Honestly, you need to go to talk to George first. Say, hey, George, come in. I know you old. I know you really ain't trying to do this no more. But hey, sit down. Tell us where we've gotten this wrong. Tell us what we need to do to fix this. That should be a conversation they're having every week with George Lucas as they're moving forward with this stuff. Stop talking to, Charmin Obaid-Chinoy. Stop talking to, Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni needs to go. He needs to be as far away from Star Wars as humanly possible. That guy clearly doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand it. He sat there with George Lucas making the Clone Wars for all of them years and learned nothing. Dave Filoni needs to go. He needs to be up out of there. That's how I look at it. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, if you want Star Wars fixed, if you want to get Star Wars on the right track, the only thing you can do is go back to the basics. Go back to George Lucas, talk to him, say, hey, George, where are we getting this wrong? Where are we getting this wrong, George? Is it enough Jedi? Is it not enough Jedi? Where are we at with it? Tell us the stories that we should be telling. That's where George Lucas can really, and again, he doesn't even have to show up on set. He could do this on a Zoom call and just talk to George every day. And George, hey, all right, what's up, buddy? All right, man, here's today's scripts. Here's the dailies. Did you get them? We emailed them to you. All right, have your assistant pull them up, look them over, tell us what we did right, tell us what we did wrong, tell us where we need to go next. Okay? If a president of Lucasfilm, if the next president of Lucasfilm, because Kathleen Kennedy is on her way out, let's just all agree to that, okay? This chick has been seen by nobody, hide nor hair. Where is she? She has not been heard from since the Pandaverse, since the Pandaverse took her down, took her behind the woodshed and tore her ass up. She has not been heard from. So at this point, it's like, hey, Kathleen, are you still here? I need to just let her on out of her contract. Just, yeah, here goes your golden parachute. Goodbye. And then bring in, not Dave Filoni, get a real head of a studio that can say, okay, we got to go to talk to George Lucas because we're destroying one of the biggest franchises that has ever existed. And we're destroying it and we're dropping the ball. What are we doing? Like, I still am amazed that Kathleen Kennedy has not been fired after all of this time. I'm still just in stunned silence sometimes when you sit back and think about how big Star Wars is and how they have just allowed this woman to just completely destroy the franchise just from the bottom up, just completely fuck the franchise up. And they haven't done anything. They haven't said a word. They haven't fired this chick. Nothing. Go ahead, keep making more movies. Do your little Rey movie. Go ahead. Hire James Mangold. Who knows what the hell he's going to do? Just go ahead and keep doing it. It's just like, who's running this thing? Why would you not fire Kathleen Kennedy at this point? God only knows, man. Yeah, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Star Wars and DC are the first two casualties of corporate interference. Yeah, DC definitely took a L when it comes to corporate interference. Avengers, absolutely, bro. But yeah, that's it, folks. That was the last topic I had, man. We covered a lot, man. We covered a whole lot. But yeah, if you guys don't have anything else for me, I'm gonna check out. I really appreciate everybody coming through once again. You know, got up to about 44. I think I saw it at 1.44 total watching. So thanks everybody for coming through. Really appreciate each and every one of you guys once again. It's always a pleasure to sit out here and do the show for you guys. And we're gonna keep showing up every Saturday. I'm working on some more material for next year. You know, I think next year we're going to try to expand the live stream. We're going to try to do more live streams just so I can connect to you guys. I think I connect to you guys better on the live stream. So, yeah, I appreciate that. Happy holidays, Avengers. Thank you, bro, for showing up. I appreciate that. I was just in listening, but I enjoyed the show very much. Wonky, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for just listening, okay? Just listening. I know a lot of you guys just listen to this in the background. You got it on and just kind of listening to me and T talk. So I do appreciate that. Ego Border, thanks for streaming. Merry Christmas. Indeed, I agree. Merry Christmas to all of you guys. Thanks for coming through. Soren Resnor, yeah, DA, Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas, everybody out there. Really appreciate it. We will be back again this time next week. We'll have more topics to discuss. So, yeah, appreciate everybody showing up, showing out. Merry Christmas from La Bonita. I didn't even see you come through, La Bonita. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate that. Another big time supporter, somebody that's always there, and I really appreciate it. Excellent stuff, DA. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and have a good Bunta's Eve. Indeed, Bunta Eve. Yes. All right, so that'll do it for me. Again, just under 2 hours, you know, but we talked about a lot. If you guys don't mind, if you haven't subscribed already, I know a lot of you guys are subscribers, of course, but if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe link so you can catch all of my content. I just put out a video like literally just before this. I didn't even realize that it was going out at that time, but you know, I had kind of just said it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh shoot, it's going out at the same time as a live stream. So there's a video out that I put talking about Hollywood, the entirety of 2024, and what has Hollywood got to do to get themselves on the right track? How does the outlook appear for Hollywood? It doesn't look good, you know. Not a lot is coming out, and they got a whole lot of problems going down in Hollywood. But yeah, that'll do it for me. So you guys go and check that video out. Look for more videos coming in the upcoming week. And everybody, hey, enjoy your Christmas. Happy New Year. If I don't see you next week, enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your families for the holidays. You know, everybody have a great time. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. And yeah, we'll see y'all next time.